Alright, good morning. It's another day. I did some framing in my basement yesterday, and then I helped the guy the rest of the afternoon move a bunch of dirt that his builder just left in the yard and wants to charge him more for or whatever, so I helped him out. And then this morning I've been doing electrical, and I'm gonna go out to Rodney's shop and have like a 3-inch strip of metal, a couple pieces made, just cut. I'll do the bending and all that stuff. I just want to get them cut so that I can put them in there and nice and straight. You know, I'll just cut, you put a piece on there, draw a line, cut that line, and weld those in there. That way they're kind of straight instead of all sloppy and whatever. Because when I cut the grinder, it's like a little wavy no matter what I do. I really need a shear, but you know, need is a funny word. Anyway, on the way out to his shop, I'm going to stop by a lady's house, and she had a dry stack brick fall out of her fireplace when she's putting up Christmas decorations. It's not even Thanksgiving, but whatever, that's what she's doing. So I'm going to go glue that brick back up on the way through, and then get out the shop, get those strips made, and then I'll be back and we'll do some welding. All right, so I got back from Rodney's place. Anthony helped me out, and I got my 2 plates that I wanted. This will go on the back side, and then this one I'll put on this side. I will have to trim in a little bit of the circle because I just took a scrap that was on his floor, so he didn't have to cut out, you know, cut a good sheet. Yeah, so there's my pieces. So I'll cut those holes out, bend the ends, and that'll be this back plate. Now I'm going to figure out this front plate, exactly where it needs to go, so I can fold it over and then tack it on both sides. So that's where we're at. I think it's going to be pretty good. I don't know. We'll see when it gets done though, huh? All right, I don't even know if this will go through that. It's what I got though, so we are about to find out. It'll probably wear it out doing it, but it's pretty worn out already, which is even sadder. That's wild. Never would have thought. Love it. Roll this bad boy up and let it cool down though. Awesome. The little sucker down there is just smoking. All right, that's awesome. So that takes care of that. The other ones we'll cut out with a grinder. right, so we got our apart, and so I just got to clean it up, but that looks pretty good. So we got past all the rusted out, roached out metal. It's all here. And so now we'll just clean this line up a little bit, and then we'll go weld that in. Hopefully this works out good. I think I'm gonna have to put little tabs on the end of this though. I think I'm gonna have to make little L tabs or something to go on there, because I think it used to happen before. So I'm not sure though. You can't weld it to the bottom because it's a sheet. It has to be able to come out. All right, before anybody asks, yes, I know I'm putting this on wood, and yes, the wood's gonna get hot and burn. I'm just gonna tack it while it's nice and flat on this piece of wood. And everything's kind of lined up right now, so I just wanna tack it in there, and then I'll weld it in. You know, we'll probably put a bunch of tacks. I'm not sure how this metal will hold up. I know this is a little bit, just a tad bit thicker, but we'll see. I think most of the roach stuff's out, so we should be fine, but you never know, right? So let me get some tacks on here. It's perfectly lined up. I mean, it's perfect, the same height on each side and all that. So if we can get this on here, then we'll work that other plate on here. But yes, I know it's on wood. And yes, the wood caught on fire. All right, I got some grinds, some welds inside here. I want to take it outside. I'm going to grind these down because once I put this other plate on there, I'm not going to be able to reach those. So I just wanted some welds on the inside. It's way overkill, but that's fine. But I don't want them to be in the way. I can barely reach them like this. And then once I put that plate on there, I can't reach them. So let me take it outside and grind it. I'll be right back. All right. Whoa, that's a little tall. Shoot, that's way tall. Ah, who did that? Crapola, crapola, crapola. Okay, so actually the length is right. So I'll have to cut these down on each side to bring it down. Wow, well, I mean, at least there's a fix, right? So it lines up great. Just too long. And I know he cut it a little long, but that's all right. Let's see. Much better. Much better. That's close. So that'll work just fine like there. All right, I got just a little bit of a wave I want to get out of the fan shroud in the front. Just got just a little dip right there. Whoop. Right there. Let's see if we can kind of correct that without screwing anything up. See if this will bend it just a little bit right there at the weld box. There we go. That got her. All right, good use of the jack. Oh, you're not even watching. Son of a gun. Right. Well, you didn't even see. I just bent this back with the floor jack. Anyway, it had a curve going this way, and now we've curved it the other way just a little bit. So that'll be perfect. I'll still have to make up some side plates, some little side feed for it, but I think it's looking good. All right, so we're in a really good place. We got this panel made. Don't complain about my welds. I know they're not the greatest looking welds in the world, but they will hold. This side's actually really nice here. It's the other side that's not as nice, but you know, thicker metal to smaller metal, you're kind of filling that gap. And I could spend a lot of time grinding it down and smoothing it out. We could even put filler in it to smooth it over and make it look nice, but why? It's inside an engine. So it'll look nice enough when it's painted. Nobody will even notice the panel. And yeah, it won't matter. But I think I'm going to spend I'm going to have to get some L channels, some real small L channel. I have some big stuff. I need to get some smaller stuff, and I need to put a piece here, and then on each of these sides, and on the back here, on the bottom, just to finish off the panel. I think it had something down there before that was roached out. I don't know what that was, but that's what I'm going to put in there. And once we get that done, she'll be ready to paint, but well, she'll be ready, done being welded. But I'll need to get the goop stuff off the back of this, at least get it down somewhat, because I'm going to paint it, and but I am going to cover it back over with sound deadener. So, you know, it is what it is. All right, so I got the panels all back in here just to kind of see where everything's going to go. I've been working on this exhaust. I got it all set up, so now I kind of know where I need my hole, which is really centered on that circle just like it's supposed to be. I'm going to make that extra big though, just so it has a little room to play. I'm probably going to, after I get that drill hole, the hole drilled, I'm probably going to leave this all like this, except for take this panel off, rock that up, tack all that together, and then pull the motor so it's all tacked up. Yeah, that last piece of pipe, I guess, I put in after the thing's in the machine, because after that, if I ever set it down, or I could just leave it on this, I guess. But if I ever set it down, it has to be cleared. Otherwise it'll smash that up. So, all right, so let me get this pulled back off. We'll mark where the hole goes. I can pretty much tell already it's going to be centered on that thing. We'll put an exaggerated hole there for it to go in. It'd be nice to have a bracket that went underneath the muffler to hold the muffler up, so all that weight wasn't on, you know, the weight of all this black steel in the tailpipe wasn't on the tailpipe. So if we put a piece of angle or something underneath this muffler piece where it's level, then the base would hold the weight of it. I think that's what we need to do. That's not going to be easy to take out or anything, but it would hold the weight, and the weight would not be on the tailpipe. The tailpipe wouldn't be pushing down all the time or the muffler twisting all the time. It would be actually really well doing good. So I think that's a great idea. We'll put something in between the muffler and the base. All right, well, let's work on that. A never-ending project. I don't know how many hours. I don't even know what time it is, but I can tell you it's starting to get late. So, all right, let me get going. All right, we got our hole drilled. I'm about done with these DeWalt drills. I ain't gonna lie to you. This one is about to burn up too. Can't get them to respond to me about sponsoring me, so whatever. My buddy is selling Makitas, I guess now, or Milwaukee's, and he has quite the collection of Milwaukee stuff. Well, I don't want to switch because the batteries, right? But I don't know. I can't keep buying drills either. All right, so we got to pull this back. We know where it goes now. It goes right about there. So we're going to get this one back here, kind of lined up with it. We're going to snap her down, and we'll weld her in, and then we'll do the other side. I think that's going to be all right. Piece over there, but that's taller than that. All right, so that's definitely going to get it. I just didn't want those little welds that were on it to break, you know, it's from the vibration, because there's a lot of vibration in this thing. So I think that's going to get it. I'll wire brush it down. I'll wipe it down with some acetone. I'll put some boards on there. We'll flip it over. I'll wipe the other side down with acetone, and I'll start priming this, I think. I'll take it outside and see if I can get some primer on it before the rain starts and before it gets cold. It's supposed to get cold, so All right, let's work on that. Okay, so I have been grinding, knocking all the little slag things off, and then I cleaned. I keep saying acetone, but I'm using mineral spirits. But man, did it need to be cleaned? And well, it's a lot cleaner. I mean, every time you wipe it, you can get it dirty if you wanted to. But so I think this is going to be good. I'm going to take this out and start priming. I'll let it dry just a little more. Then I'm going to take it outside and start priming it up. We'll do this side, let it dry. We'll flip it over, do the other side, and then let that dry. And we'll be well on our way at that point, huh? All right, well, let me drag this outside, let the wind get it for a bit, and then we'll start priming. All right, it was a little windy out there, but we got her all primed up on the bottom side, I guess. So we'll let this dry overnight, and we'll flip it over, and we'll prime the other side. Well, hopefully in the morning. We'll see how the temperature goes. And then we'll get to, we'll flip it back over and paint the bottom, let that dry, and then we'll flip it over and paint the top. So, and then we can go into assembly mode. I will have to get that little bit of channel iron for that and weld that on there. But the rest of it, we just need to clean the panels and paint them up. So that'll be the big next thing, is just painting panels. But we're to a good place because it's really going to be clean up and assemble at this point instead of fabricate. I think the fabricating is done. So, all right, so we are out of here. We're going to call it a day, and I will see you guys, well, tomorrow. What do you think? Huh? What is that? What is it? What do you think? Yeah. All right. We're out of here. Let's go. All right, good morning. Hey, I've just been spraying this down with primer, and then I'm going to put some high heat paint on the muffler. I did get a little Bondo, some primer on that, but it's all right. But I'll cover it up with the high heat spray. All right, so that's all we're going to spray with this high heat. The rest we're just going to spray with regular, but I'm going to let it dry for a while, and then I'll spray it there. Yeah, it's looking good though. It's looking good. Hey, it's a nice Sunday afternoon. It was freezing cold this morning. It's in below 30, which is cold here. I know, not it's hot, cold everywhere. I flipped this over and painted this other side, so we'll let that dry and go from there. I got the L channel for the front and back here, and then for the sides I decided to use the big stuff that I had over there in the corner. because I got to run a bolt through it, and that has to bolt to the floor. I was looking at some pictures, so we'll get this welded on there on both sides, and then I'll cut a couple pieces of that small stuff. Well, I'll drill a hole in it, cut it, drill a hole in it, and then we'll weld it on. All right, let's get busy. All right, that went good. I think that's gonna be nice. Now I'm just gonna make the two bigger ones for the sides. And yeah, we'll get those tacked on and it'll be a successful day. I think at that point I can prime that bottom. I need to use acetone on the rest of it, but I don't think I'm gonna do that today. This has been a wonderful day. I've spent the entire day, it's late in the afternoon already. I've been, of course it was cold, so it didn't matter, but we've been steam cleaning carpets and doing the wood floors and all the stuff you do for Thanksgiving. We've been working on all that stuff. So it's been a very fun day. 2 days actually, but all right, let me get this cut and then we'll tack that on there and we'll be in a good position. All right, so I got the little L brackets made. I'm gonna come over here to the drill press. I'm gonna drill the holes in them, get them in there in advance. And then that way I can just, once they're positioned and I have everything tightened down, I can just drill through the pan and then tap that and then put a bolt in each one on each side. Great hole. This press came from one of my best friends. It was his father's drill press, and I didn't really know that I needed a drill press. I mean, we had talked about it, and I didn't really jump at it. I mean, I definitely wanted it, but I didn't jump at it. And he brought it to me even, which was amazing. But it was his father's, and his father meant a lot to him. So it's just kind of a joy that I get to use it, to be honest with you. And it works out. I've used it so much since I've had it. I've used it. I mean, I can't tell you how many times. It's just so nice to make a straight hole. And, you know, it's just kind of cool to be my buddy's dad's. And let's get in a second. I knew he was going to do that. I need to figure out a way to get a clamp on this so I can clamp stuff down when I do use it. But the cool thing is too, is it kind of makes me think of my buddy every time I use it too. It's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Small things in life I think are important. All right, that'll work out great. Let me get these tacked onto the plate. He wasn't going to use it, but he could have sold it and got a couple $100 for it probably or something, you know. And instead he like I said, him and his wife loaded it up in their car and they even bring it to me. It was kind of cool. Kind of cool. They live in Missouri, so they're a long way away. We don't get to see them much, but we sure have a good time when we do get to see them. All right, so this really is ready other than I need to clean as much goo off as I can. I will be covering that back up with sound deadener, so it's not that important that I get it all off, but I'd like to get as much off as I can. I really need to sand this up here a little more and get a little more down to the metal, but I need to use mineral spirits or something and get this goo off here, and then we can prime it, paint it, and it'll be ready to go in. Looks pretty good though, huh? I think so anyway.